I have a great understanding of meaning of life. And understanding I have one life. I'm gonna die one day. Look at yourself in the mirror. There's a negative fucking part of your head telling you you can't do something. There's a positive one. But make sure the positive one tells that negative one, go and fuck yourself. Everything is what we tell ourselves. You know what I mean? Me and you can convince ourselves that we're drinking fucking vodka here. But it's all in our head. You know what? Does it make you feel good being sad and upset? Are you feeling great? Pen says no. Fucking do something about it.
Emil Juresic, what an intro, right? I love this guy. 3 things I love about him: passion, energy, and drive, man. This guy's off the charts. One of the best interviews I think we've ever done. He moved here when he was 16 from Croatia with his family, right? $0 in the bank, by the way, $0. And he's built a multi-billion-dollar company. So he works in real estate with multiple offices across the country, dealing in high-end properties. He's got a media company, he's got a marketing company, he's got a legal company, and the founder of One Life Club, which I'm just about to become a member. Well, that's if they accept me. Which is an elite club for CEOs and founders. So he's really trying to contribute to the market based on his success, right? Which I love it. And we're all trying to do that. So, so sit back, take a chill pill, get a coffee, and welcome Emil Juresic. So Emil, I want to go back to the beginning, right?
Yes.
I've just done a bit of research on you. So
Yes.
I've spent a couple of days watching some of your podcasts, your interviews. So I've got a bit of a lens on where you started. So you moved here when you were 16, right?
I moved here, but every time, you know what's interesting, Lawrence? Every time I think about my journey, you know, where I started, straight away goosebumps.
Yeah, right.
Instantly.
Emotional, right?
It is because I, like many other people, didn't have easy journey or easy childhood. And every time I go back, straight away, it's just this electricity goes through my body. But yes, I came to Australia with my mum, dad, and my brother when I was 16 years old.
Older brher.
Younger, 4.5
brother.
years old, yes,
Yep.
who works for me today. I was actually with him this morning. He's a great builder.
Yeah.
He builds all of my developments. And so we came here, you know, as a refugees, family with hungry stomach, you know, broken heart, what I would normally say from my past, you know, and you know, and we were just really happy coming to Australia, a country where there was no civil war, because where we grew up for 4 years, we had no electricity, no clean water, no school, you know, no food, and then on top of that, you got bombs flying above your head. So when you grow, when you spend, you know, your very crucial teen, you know, years in that environment, coming to Australia, you know, having food on the table, nobody's hungry here. Having roof above your head, to us, that was, we were already, you know, successful in our mind and in our hearts, because we felt we were free. We're not going to die, and so that was the start. And then
Can I ask? So why Australia? Did your father, had he been here before? Were family here? Why was the decision to come here?
So World War One, World War Two, all started where I come from.
Yep.
You know, I mean, the country that I come from, you know, ex-Yugoslavia, or Croatia and Bosnia, and, you know, they've been fighting there for freaking thousands of years.
Long time.
And when war finished, you know, Dad saw what his kids went through. He wanted to be as far possible as he can away from potential war again in 20, 30, and 40 and 50 years. And he wanted to make sure that, you know, generations that are coming, you know, obviously he's got 2 sons and he's going to have grandkids in the future and so on, that they live in peace. So, you know, Australia was kind of as far
as
you
you
can go.
Get
And we had an uncle that was living, that still lives in Brisbane, and Dad got in touch with him and he said, you know, how can we potentially come to Australia? And so I remember
he helped,
so, you know, he helped us, you know, at that time get a refugee application up, and then we came to Oz, not knowing anything, couldn't speak any English, had no money, family had literally $100 to their name when we came here.
That.
So we lived with our uncle for about 30 days, and Dad really wanted to work. Dad is an extremely hard worker.
What sort of work did he do?
He was all his life, he was in construction.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And but couldn't speak any English. So I remember, and Dad is not the kind of guy that wanted to just rely on the Centrelink, and get free money from government. He wanted family to move forward. So I remember Dad and I just went to construction sites and we were just asking people, can we do some work? And we couldn't speak fucking word of English, so go figure.
Love that.
And we started, and people, we would just walk to construction site, and we started working for $30 a day, both of us, which is nothing. So we can just, save a few $1,000 so Dad and Mom can buy the car, and they can potentially get a rental. So a couple of months living with Uncle and Auntie, we saved a few $1,000, and Dad bought a car and rented a little house commission, actually, in Marsden.
Marsden,
wow. Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Yeah.
And he started from there.
Yeah. Are you like your father, do you think?
I'm like nobody.
Yeah, got it. You got a lot of energy, you know that.
I'm like nobody. I tell you why.
Yeah.
I have most amazing parents.
Yeah.
Most amazing parents. Amazing mom. My mom, she has been stay-at-home mom all her life. So she was looking after Dad and her two sons. And Dad was a worker. Dad will outwork two of us, physically outwork two of us. And even Dad is 70 years old now. Dad is just strong like a bulldog and workaholic, right? And I come from a massive family, 12 uncle and aunties. And so when I was very young, age 5, I see other kids have bicycles, because Dad was working for one big factory, and we couldn't afford a bicycle.
Yeah.
So, age 25, I was, I really want to have a bicycle. I really want to have a bicycle, but you can't buy it. So I thought, I'm going to start a little business. I'm going to go and wash other kids' bicycles for 50 cents. So I can potentially save some money and buy my own bicycle. The next thing is I saved a bit of money and bought my own bicycle. So that was my first kind of entry into, little business world. And from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to kind of try to control my own future, control my own destiny. And working for somebody else, you kind of are controlled by somebody else, not where you want your life to go.
Sorry to interrupt, can I ask, did your father support that though, or did he say, just work, son, buy a house and save your money?
Any parent can only teach you what they know.
Correct.
Do you have kids?
I do, yeah.
So you can't teach your kids how 100%. To fly a plane.
100%.
You know what I mean? So
and they're from a different time, right?
From a different time.
So
the times, and then, when I was age 10, I started, another little business and so on. But, with any parent, they want you to be safe. They 100%. Want you to, have a family.
They want to protect you.
They want to protect you. So they don't tell you anything so you can do worse in your life.
Yeah.
So, advice from my parents always was, go and get a good education, getting good education. That will give you the safety net. Everything is about freaking safety net. After you finish your school, get a good job. Good job gives you security.
Yeah.
And then, find a wife or husband and then have a family, buy a house, raise a family,
well, that's
kids
pretty
go
boring.
to school. You know what I mean? Right. And with me, the life that I've chosen, I reckon even till about 10 years ago, my mom and dad would be like, why do you want to take, all this pressure on yourself? Even my dad said to me 2 days ago, he said, why don't you just sell everything? Sell all the businesses and just do nothing. He said, sell your house. I'm building a $20 million freaking unbelievable house. Why do you need it? Just sell it all and just do nothing. I said, Dad, I can do that, but I would be living somebody else's life. I work till I pass the fuck out every day, not because I have to, not because I need to. The thrill of creating companies, of me. I'm learning, of me moving forward, of putting my brain to another level all the time. That is who I am. And
it's your superpower, right? Like that's just what you do.
Well, that's what what I enjoy. I would never do anything that I don't like, that doesn't complete me as a human.
Yep.
And so, Mom and Dad are always supportive. But at the same time, if they had a day bay, I would be working for somebody else on $120,000 a year, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's the path that you want to go and enjoy it. But that wasn't me,
So that's a lesson for the kids, right? Because I think a lot of them listen to their parents, and their parents just want to wrap them up in bubble paper and protect them, right?
They need to understand. Any kids, any parents are telling them, get a good education, go and get a job. And a lot of kids get upset by their parents saying, you know what, you're not supporting me, you don't want me to be happy, blah, blah. But parents only want good for you.
100%.
So you need to listen to your to what they have to say. And look at it from where they're coming from and still do whatever the fuck you want to do anyway.
100%.
But listen to them and don't be angry with them if they tell you, don't start your business. They don't know. They don't know any better. They want you to be safe. They want you to be okay. They don't want you to, not be okay. So they're only going to tell you what they know. So, any kid that's out there, when your parents are telling you something, listen to them. You know what, Mom and Dad, I understand why you want me to do that. I can promise you one thing. I'm going to be on the right path. I'm going to be a good person. But this is my life. And if you want me to be happy, let me be happy. You know what I mean? And that's the way I see it as well. So any parents, if they can't support their kids to do whatever they want to do, at least be understanding when your son or your daughter does choose a different path in life, and do support them.
100%. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So you guys are in Marsden.
Yeah.
You guys are walking at job sites, right? Looking for work. You're getting jobs.
Yeah. And this is one country that nobody can tell me they can't find job. Only people that can say I can't find work are people that are not looking for. work.
Well, it's sort of flipped a little bit. I think there's plenty of work, but they've got options now, these kids, right? Like,
you know what? We are living in a different times.
Yeah.
I had an uncle that came, he lives all his life, he's been living in Germany. He went from Croatia to Germany when he was 17 years old. Anyway, he came to visit Mom and Dad a couple of years ago here. And I said, Uncle, how long did you work in your last job? He said, 48 years. I said, I didn't ask you a question how long you work in one profession, in one company. He said, I know what he said, 48 years.
Yeah.
Oh, he said that was his first job and last job.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All his life he worked in the same job. These days, it's very hard. It's very hard to find any young kid who wants to be loyal to one job. One, they have option. Think about this. On social media right now, when you go on Instagram, there's so many things you see there. People are traveling, they're spending summers in Bali or Europe, and any young individuals, they want to, live their 20s.
Yeah.
They want to go and travel. They want to go and explore. They want to say, you know what, I don't know what the fuck I want to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend 3-4 months working at this job. Then I'm going to change profession and work somewhere else for 3-4 months till I figure out what the fuck I want. Before you know it, they're 30 years old. And then like, oh shit, now years are catching up. Now I need to settle down.
Put the work in first, kids, right? So
the way I see it, establish yourself in your 20s. But I can understand, we come from a different era, with me, these days, when I was growing up, I knew it's going to take me 10, 20, 30 years to build a successful business. I knew that it's going to take me time for me to establish myself, with the knowledge in any market. But I knew it's going to take me a long time if I want to have a Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever. I knew that's the price I had to pay. But when I was, are you from Brisbane?
No, I was born in New Zealand.
When did you come to Australia?
I came here 2000 and, I can't remember, I think 2004.
Okay. Well, anyway, when I was, 98 or 9, when I was 17, 18 years old, only Ferrari you could see if you drive to Park Road, just around the corner from here in Milton, and there was a red Ferrari parked there. You know what I mean? Joe owner, he always parked his car there. Now there's a million of them on social media. Every day there's something tempting, so
half of that's bullshit though, right?
of course, you know how many people take photos in front of my cars and put it on the social media and say, hey, this is how you can be successful, and this taking photo behind my cars. You know what I mean? And and people will be sending me messages, hey, this guy is pretending your car is, who gives a shit? That's his life. I don't care. But times are different. So, I started with the mindset, anything I do, first thing I can say to any 20 years old, this is to summarize it. If you can find at early stage of your life what you're passionate about. So, maybe you have a passion for selling, or maybe you have a passion for IT, or whatever your passion is, follow that passion, because if you can work for somebody else for a couple of years, learn from that somebody who's really good at what they do, and if that's still your passion, if you start your business where your passion is, there's a good chance you're going to thrive and you're going to go through hard times. Because starting any business, as you know, is not a smooth sailing. We have ups and downs, and that's the meaning of fucking business, I guess. But if you're passionate about something, you're not going to walk away that easy. But when you're 20 years old and if you're just chasing money, you know what, this business is good because there's a good money in it. And then if you start that business, as soon as you hit a bit of a wall or hard times, oh fuck, I'm just going to walk away and find something else because there's no passion in it. You know what I mean? So it's easy to walk away from something that simple. If you meet a lady today, you can walk away. But if you really love that lady, you're going to try everything you can to keep that relationship.
100%.
Or men, or whatever the relationship is. You know what I mean? So everything is, whatever you're passionate about, you can last the tough fucking times.
So let's hover on that a little bit, though. But do these kids know what they're passionate about, though? Or do they think they know?
Well, you know what?
Because I actually think find what you're good at, and then you become passionate about that because you become successful in it, right?
You got a point there too. Right now, when I was 18, when you were 18,
it's a long time ago, people.
Yeah, very long time ago. But I will say this, when we were that age, access to information that we had was not much. So the way you learn, you either read a book, or you watch TV, or you listen to radio, and that's kind of it. Anything you want to know now, you can find out within 10 seconds on your phone. Anything you want to find out. 10 seconds on your phone, you find out. So you have access at early stages of your life to learn about different industries. So the thing is, if you want to be a Tyler, if you want to be, study IT, whatever it is, you got so much access to information that at early stages of your life, you can learn a lot about different industries. You can watch so many YouTube videos. You can actually read so much online. So you can follow so many amazing people that are in different industries on social media. So you kind of have so much, you got that early start of access to knowledge and learn about different industries. Do you know what I mean? And then when you are 18, there's a good chance you still don't know what the fuck you're going to do. Then you can go, you know what, I'm going to go and work in that industry. And if you don't see yourself in it, then you can change the job if that's, if that doesn't make you happy. But the key is for any young individual also learning that everything is a long game. Because the problem with a lot of young individuals, they want to make so much money straight away when they were age 18. Nothing wrong with that. There are kids that are 18 years old that are freaking killing it out there. But to establish yourself in any market, they just have to understand there is a process. And process is going to take time for you to become expert in any field.
Patience, right? Have some patience.
That's something that, look at this. People used to watch movies 2 hours. Start, finish, 2 hours. What people do now, they're on TikTok, scrolling up and down. In 1 hour, they can watch 2,000 stories or reels. 2,000 of them. They can see entire world in 1 hour. From anything. So people are definitely not patient. The attention span is so freaking, it's a split second these days. It's simply because there's so much access to information that we have today. And I think young kids should use that as advantage Just make sure you don't confuse yourself in the process when you are learning what you should be doing.
Yeah.
But if you're just chasing money, I think that's almost guaranteed for failure.
Yeah, well, it doesn't necessarily make you happy, right? I know people say, oh, I just want to be happy. Yeah, but what does that mean exactly to you, right, specifically?
And we all, the definition of happiness and success to all of us is different.
100%. It's always different. So so you're grinding it out, right? You're working, you're saving money, you do your first property deal, you start building it, right? And then your portfolio sort of grows, right? It blows up in your 20s, which is amazing. Kudos to you. So you're learning, right? You're building, you're learning.
Still at age 44.
Yeah, 100%. And then you get to a point where you get hit.
Baseball bat.
With a baseball bat.
Big one.
Yeah. And then they stand on your head, bury you, and then set you on fire, right?
Yep.
So talk to me about that. I find that super interesting when I was watching you talk about that. Because I think that you learn a lot from that.
In any business, there's no such a thing as well, I don't know any business that exists where you're not going to hit a wall. One point of your business journey.
Yep.
The key is, throughout my young life, I've been hustling, working 7 days a week since I was really 16 years old. And it took me 14 years to establish extremely great business from age 16 to age 30. And then when you get financially burned, the hardest thing is to get up and keep moving forward. Because when your business goes down, for whatever reason, could be your fuck up, could be your lack of knowledge, could be other people trying to ruin your business, whatever it is, when your business hits the wall, there are choices you gotta make. Hard choices. One, you work 14 years in my case, so hard. You have a great life, you have all the properties and, you're financially free and then you hit that wall. And we are living now in a times where any business can hit the wall if you're not moving ahead with times, right? Just before this interview, we were talking about your business and how it's evolving online. And 20 years ago, it didn't exist online. It was all physical. So if your business hits that wall and you lose everything, so choices are, which many people choose. One, stay on ground, beat yourself up. Beat yourself up. This is not for me. So I can't handle the pressure anymore. Give up. It's give up. I'm just going to find a job and work for somebody else. Yeah. Option two, which happened to me and most of us, when you do lose everything, you start blaming everybody else. So you look at yourself in the mirror and you see everybody else in that mirror. You see, what, this person screwed me for money. That person has done wrong by me. That person has done wrong by me. So you keep blaming everybody for business failure. And then there's another option. I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I said, Emil, everything that happened to you is your fault. Somebody fucks you in business, it's your fault. You let him or let her. If you lose business, it's your fault. Maybe you didn't have your, hand on every pulse. Maybe you were, employing wrong people. But whatever it is, yourself as a decision maker, you run the show. End of the day, it starts from the head. So till the day that I admit everything that happened, it's my fault. It doesn't matter why I lost the business. I let it get to that point. It's my fault. And the second, everything that happened to me, it was the training for what I'm about to do next. So I said to myself, you know what? I've been in business now for 14 years since I was 16 years old. I've learned so much. So I'm going to use the knowledge that I gained throughout my fucking 20s to make my 30s better. I'm going to be more calculated. I'm going to have more time to think about decisions that I make. I'm going to be more cautious who I do business with. I'm going to be more strategic how I do things. So every day we are all learning so much, whatever we're doing. Doesn't matter if you're working for somebody else, if you're running your own business, you're learning, you're gaining so much knowledge. You can't get that to go to waste. And then I decided, you know what? Put your sleeves up and start again. Start again, use the knowledge that you gained, and that's when I created company NGU, that stands for Never Give Up, because I didn't give up in my teens when I was living in a war, when I had no fucking food, no clean water. I didn't give up when I lost my business. And then, like a friend of mine, Chris, would say to me, Emil, now next stage of your life is head down, bum up.
Well, you only fail if you quit, right? Come on, man. You just got to...
No, there's no... look, to be honest, there's no business owner that doesn't fuck up. I mean, even at this stage now, I invest a lot of money, and all my friends, we invest a lot of money into different companies and different people, and sometimes things don't work out, but the hard thing is when you only have one thing, when you're having that business that you created over the years, when that fails, you feel like entire world is collapsing on your head because you just lost, but deeper you are in a business and you have different investments, and not every investment, opportunity that you put your money and your time in works out, and that's okay. Learn from it, move on.
Let's quantify that. So for people watching, I just want to quantify that, because some people think, I lost $1,000. Well, no, come on. If you've lost millions of dollars, right, and I'm assuming it was millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Like this, we're not talking small amounts here. I'm the same, right? And people go, "Well, you lost millions of dollars." Well,
I lose, I fucking lose big.
It's just a training course, right? It's millions of dollars worth of education.
But there's no university that's free.
100%.
In your business, when somebody wants to study whatever your business is offering them, they gotta pay.
Yeah.
And when you are in business, that's your university, buddy.
Yeah.
I think the key is, I think. Advantage a lot of kids have these days is just access to information, access to mentors, access to people that are doing well, access to people that are fucked up, access to just learning, which is the key to success, really.
Yeah. How many businesses have you burnt over the years, you reckon?
How many didn't work out? Look, to be honest, I got a very, very good friend of mine. His name is Albos. I always give him shit. I said, Albos, every time I see how many times you failed, you make me feel good about myself, because he failed 17 times before he created a business called Car Advice that he sold for $63 million. Yeah. And after that business was sold.
He's got a new car business, right?
Yeah, now it's called Car Expert. And that business is worth now a lot more than $60 million. So
good business.
Business number 18 succeeded, business number 19 is going freaking crazy.
You were sort of different though, because your first property, your move into property was successful until that one thing, right?
No. My thing is, see, when you're a property developer, you are putting puzzles together. Yeah. You buy land. Yeah. Architect designs it for you. Yeah. Builder builds it for you. Yeah. Project manager can manage it for you. Real estate agent sells it for you. Putting puzzles together. My mistake was I started a construction company and I started building for other people. So, for example, let's say I'm building you a $5 million home. Yep. I got to send you an invoice first for the work that I have done for me to get paid. Yep. So, for example, concrete slab might cost, I don't know, $300,000. Yeah. So I send you an invoice.
Now, this is after you do the work, by the way. Important to note, right?
After you do the work.
After you do the work.
So you got to do the work. So I spent I spent money doing the concrete slab. Yeah. And then you go under.
Yeah. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm not paying you.
You're not paying me. But my concrete slab, I can't take it from the ground and sell it to the guy next door.
You cannot.
I'm fucked. But I got bills to pay. Yeah. I have to pay that concrete for the concreters, plumbers, guy who levels the block of land, and so on. So other people dragged me down. So with me, that's the biggest business that I lost. But now my losses now are if I put money into something and it doesn't work out. I recently, not long ago, put $500,000 into business that somebody else was controlling and didn't work out. That's okay.
What did your father say to you when you lost it all at 30?
That's the hardest thing for parents, to watch their son fail.
I bet.
Hardest. And Dad wasn't in financial position to say, hey, son, I bail you out. Because I started from nothing. My dad was working for me, which is even fucking worse, right? So I'm the kind of head of the family. So when I fail, fucking entire family fails. I got a friend of mine. His dad is worth $200 million. Started a development company, failed. Who gives a fuck? Dad gave another $5 million. He's still living in an $8 million home. What I mean? When I failed, you just look at yourself in the mirror and you failed.
Was he, I find this super interesting, was he supportive of that? Or did he go, I told you so?
Never. He was just hurt.
Yeah, okay.
Mom and Dad were just hurt. They were just hurt.
For you?
they were just hurt, for themselves. And even in Croatian community, people will see, your son is a failure, he failed.
Yeah. It's pressure on them, right?
It's pressure on them, and they almost, that was always, mom and dad were always walking with a head up. But in the Croatian community, people were looking down on them because their son failed. And 14 years later, the son's got fucking probably the biggest business out of any Croatian in the country. Man. And dad
fuck
works
you guys.
with the fucking, there's no fuck you guys, like fuck you guys in
man.
style.
I get that. That's awesome. So, hey, I want to go back to that. So, you're down and out, right? You said you just said before you were looking in the mirror and you had to make a decision. How long was that space?
Well,
was it like overnight, or was it, you were just settling and trying to figure it out?
No, look, you go through the stages of life. Losing business is hard, right?
Yep.
And, it might take, you're seeing your business go down over, let's say, 6 to 12 months' time, and then you hit the wall, and then you're trying to figure out, what do I do next?
Yeah.
What do I do
So it's
next?
gradually declining and you're in it, right?
Well, and you're trying to fight for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I knew everything that I knew now, my business would never fail, because, the knowledge that I have today, 90% of my work was for one person. All my eggs were in one basket. Now, I have fucking 10 different companies. There's income coming from all over the place.
Are you university educated?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Barely finished grade 12.
Yep.
I went to TAFE only for 7 days.
Yep.
I wanted to study business management. Had a teacher.
Yeah.
And after 7 days, I said to him, with all due respect, sir, I don't understand. How can you teach me about business when you're working for TAFE?
Were you doing a business course?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
How can, it makes no sense.
Wow.
You never experienced,
Yeah.
Cash flow. You never experienced what it is to pay staff.
Yeah. He's an employee, right?
He's an employee, and he teaches me about business. It's like me teaching you about this water, and I never tried it before. The fuck do I know?
Yeah.
I want to learn from people that are drinking it, that are making it.
So you bailed. You walked. I'm out.
7 days later. And he told me I will never make it anyway.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, what an asshole.
Yeah.
Talk about teachers should be supporting people, man.
He said, Emil, you don't finish this, you will never make it anyway.
Yeah.
You will be failure all your fucking life.
Yeah.
And I remember age 25.
Yeah.
I went back to the TAFE, and I knew the car that he was driving then, and I was hoping he was going to drive the same car. Which
Now, if you killed him, don't say it on air because you can still get arrested for it, right?
No. Yeah, I see him walking towards his car, and I'm parked across the road. And I went to him straight away when I saw him get into his car. Straight away, I said, "Mister," I'm not gonna call his name. Let's call him John for now.
Yeah.
I said, "Mr. John, how you going? You probably can't remember me, but I just want to say thank you for inspiring me when I went to your TAFE." And he said, "Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad I inspired you." I said, "Yes, I went there for 7 days, and you told me if I don't finish this, if I don't get a great education, I will never make it." And he said, "Well, that's correct. Maybe if you did finish your education," it was really rude. "Maybe if you did finish your education, maybe you'd be driving that red car across the road."
Which was yours.
I put the keys up, and I just smiled, and I walked away. It was fucking red Ferrari, and he was still driving his shitty Camry.
Right.
I needed
what a moment, man.
I needed to do that. I needed to tell him, go and fuck yourself. Don't fucking... Don't... Nobody should tell anybody you can't do something. You can't make it.
Yeah.
We need to be encouraging others. You know what? You will be... You will make it. This might not be for you.
Yeah.
He can say, maybe this course is not for you. Maybe Emil, working for somebody else is for you. But you pursue what makes you happy, and you will eventually become successful at it. You will fucking do well instead of discouraged. Because when you're so young, and you're in your teens, when you're 18 years old, and people tell you, "Hey, but you're no good. You can't do something," that can affect you because you are human, especially a young human, So I love motivating young kids, I love inspiring them. You know what? You want to do something, buddy? Fucking world is under your feet.
Yeah.
You go for it. Work hard. Be persistent, and give it all, and eventually you'll get there. And don't give up, you know what I mean? So, but, it's, some people, I guess, find satisfaction of maybe telling people they can't do something because they haven't done anything themselves.
Well, there's that adage, right? You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most, right? I'm a big fan of that. I think it's true. I think they're just hanging out with the wrong people, man.
If you're hanging out with 5 dickheads, you're fucking dickhead number 6.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Which is very crucial for any individual, young or old. It is great that you surround yourself with people that are making your life better. Yeah. Now, I always say there's 2 groups of friends in life that you have.
Yeah, I know where you're going. And I agree. Yeah, I get it.
You know, one group is, there are friends that I went to school with. Yeah. Amazing people. Yeah. Their life is different from mine. I'm a fucking entrepreneurial. I want to climb Mount Everest and I want to be the first up there. They wanted to establish the family, get a safe job, go on a family barbecue, family vacations, and have a normal home in suburbia. That makes them happy. They're great people, and they're my mates. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with them. But then there are mates that are still great people, but they're fucking ambitious as fuck. They want to support you, they want to motivate you, they want to help you with your business. And whoever your circles are 1 or 2 circles, just get good humans, people that want and mean well for you. My friends that haven't chosen my path, they're still happy for me. They want me to do well. Emil, that's the life you chose. You keep going that way. We'll support you, but we love our life, and that's okay too. You don't have to run your own fucking business, and you have to run in your own lane. And your own lane is what makes you happy.
What do you think? Comment on this. So there's those people out there. So these kids have got these friends around them, right? And they think they want them to be successful, but in actual fact, they don't, and they pull them down, and they do it in a way that individual can't see them, right?
Well, there's 2 things. There's a saying, people want to see you do well, but not better than them. 100%. You know what I mean? So that's one. But 2, I think the biggest curse you can have as a fucking human is to be jealous one. Yeah. People are either jealous or they envy or they're jealous of somebody doing better than them. When I see my mates do better than me, I was like, fuck me.
That's awesome, right?
You're inspiring me to do better. I can learn so much from you. And you work your heart out. You fucking deserve it all. Go be 10,000 times richer than me. Who cares? That makes you happy. If you're a miserable fuck because somebody else is doing better than you, you really are miserable, and nothing better when you have the peace within, when you are happy for others, then you can do well yourself. And plus, you're not wasting time being jealous of somebody.
So what's this happiness thing you talk about? You said it a couple of times in that interview I watched of you. And there's one thing I like about that, and the lens that I have on it for you was when you talk about happiness, the context for you is now you're getting older, you just want to enjoy it, take something out of it, support those people around you, right? You get happiness from that, it sort of seems. So talk to me about how you see that.
I think goes with the age, right? Yeah. I have a very clear understanding, which many people don't. I have a great understanding of meaning of life, and understanding I have one life. I'm gonna die one day.
Did you have that in your 20s though?
Of course. Of course not. When we are in 20s, right? When you're in your 20s, you think you're gonna live fucking forever. Yeah. You don't think about death. You don't think you're gonna die tomorrow. When you're in your 20s, you think you're gonna live like a fucking dinosaur. Forever. You're not thinking. And when you see somebody 60 years old, like fucking that's an old person, or 40, oh my God, he's so old. The way I now see it, I'm 44. Technically, I'm halfway through my life. If I get to live to age 88. The trick is, you don't know when you're going to fucking die, right? Because the bullet that's going to kill you has already been fired. We can die from cancer tomorrow. We can die from car accident. So because I know my days are limited in life, I really try to take advantage of breathing every day. Today is a day that I never lived before. So I can't afford to waste it, because when this day is over, I'm one day closer to my ultimate destination. So I got to have a joyful days. I don't do business with people I don't want to do with. That don't make me happy. I don't do podcasts with people that I don't think have good intentions. Even this podcast, my team has researched, these guys, are they good humans? Do they have a great podcast? Are they going to make me feel better today? Going to make me smile? You know what I mean? So everything that I do during the day is so calculated that, I can't have I can't afford to waste my day. And the reality is, in business, you're dealing with shit, you're dealing with problems or whatever the fuck it is. But with me is, if there's a problem, I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to solve them one at a time. Matter of fact, I'm going to actually try to enjoy solving them, because that's how I test myself in how good I am really. It's easy to say to yourself you're good when everything is going great, but be good when it comes to things are not going so great and you need to fix it up. So with me is, I just learned the value of life, buddy. I learned the value of life, and why not be happy? Why be sad? Why be upset? Why do shit you don't want to do? If you're working somewhere and you're miserable, quit while you're listening to this fucking show.
Look, I hope you found something that you liked or that you think may work for your business. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. We try to push out as much content and good content as we can. Really appreciate your watching, and look forward to speaking to you next time. Thank you.